You might be thinking, oh, here he comes. He's making a video to apologize, to say that he was wrong, but I'm not. You wanna know why? Because I have seen sports for so long, and I have actually opened my eyes that I knew this was coming, right? In the last video I said that Argentina was going to win, but I did open up the possibilities that Spain was going to win, right? Especially with the sporting apps and everything. I saw the odds, right? I believe it was a 260 plus odds that Argentina was going to win, and 125 that Spain was going to win, right? And I did ultimately say, sporting apps, the house never loses, right? If the favorite ends up losing, they'll make massive profits, right? They'll make massive profits. And first I want to say, what's the point of this video, right? That everything is rigged. This guy right here, Jamal, I forgot his name, right? He's a 19-year-old soccer player who is extremely good, right? He is cocky. I have heard that he has a terrible personality, but he's a good player, right? And he plays for a good team. So, what does that tell you, right? They have their new face for FIFA, right? The future. It could be Mbappe. Well, I mean, he's basically not as young as he used to be, right? But here you have your future. You are investing on your future. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, you were saying that Argentina was going to win. I did open up the possibilities that they were going to lose. And let me tell you why, right? Lionel Messi already made it to the World Cup twice in a row, right? He only won one, but he made it twice in a row. So there it is, right? You don't give the World Cup to the face, but you tell him, you know what? At least you made it to the big platform, right? Everyone will get to see you in the big screen. Everyone was watching you. Making that far is a big accomplishment, right? And the thing is, it's the script is everywhere, right? Norway making it as far as they used to with Holland, right? He is a fucking beast. But many people didn't know who he was, right? In my job, nobody knew who he was until he made it that far. And it was like everyone was cheering for him. Everyone was cheering for him, right? He carried a whole nation in his back, right? And the thing is, like, everyone was cheering for him. And it gives us hope, like, maybe he can make it that far. But let's be realistic. He wasn't going to be able to do it on his own, right? But, like, you already have the name right there. Holland carrying the whole team, right? France already won one World Cup with Mbappe. So he's good. He can win another. He has 3 more under his belt. Around 3, right? And right here, this guy's super young. He's 19. He can probably do 4 or 5, right? Maybe 5 if he goes to 40 years old. But there it is. There's a potential face, right? There's a potential face right there. Mexico, let's be honest, they always make it in the same spot, right? And there's always the same thing. What if we make it farther? What if we win the whole thing? It's the same thing every single time. It gives us hope, and they don't do shit. But people are happy as long as they make it to that one spot, right? So that's the thing. That everything is scripted. Everyone knows how far they're gonna go, and it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. This outcome was thank you and brought you by the sporting apps, right? The betting apps. Because they want you to believe, like, you know what, Argentina's going to win, it's scripted, they're going to give it to them, everyone bets on Argentina, and then what happens? Spain wins 1-0. And not only that, the sporting apps were also saying that they were going to score over 3 goals. And you know what was the score? It was 1-0. It was 1-0. You know how funny that is? That's extremely hilarious. And it's look, I don't want to say like I know the answers, right, to everything. I know what the outcome. The same thing. That's what they want you to think. That is the whole purpose, right? They want you to think like you know the answers, but you really don't. But there is a script behind this. They want you to believe a thing when it actually isn't, right? There is an occasion or two when sports are actually legit. Like they just let let the season flow, right? Like, for example, when the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks were playing in the World Series back in 2024, I believe, or 2025. I'm not really sure what year it was. But it was a forgettable year. You want to know why? Because nobody cared about the World Series. I forgot who won. I think it was the Texas Rangers. I believe it was the Texas Rangers. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because every once in a while there's going to be a season when it's actually legit, right? They're going to let the teams play. They're going to let whoever wins win. And it's so they could make it look legit, right? Like the 2015 Royals, right? That was a legit season, right? They let the whole thing go. They just let it flow. But then there's gonna be times when the fucking Dodgers win the whole thing, right? They want the favorites to win. They want a team to win, so they become like the face of baseball, the face of the franchise, and the face of everything. And you know, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You have the Kansas City Chiefs that they just keep on winning with Patrick Mahomes, and then you have the fucking Argentina, where you make them think that Argentina's gonna win, but they don't win, right? They want to confuse you. They want to have a script. They want to throw you off balance. And it's just frustrating, right? I don't know why we keep watching sports. I didn't watch the game, right? I was just like listening to the people saying the scores and everything like that. I give up. It's just funny. It's just funny because people believe that it's just like sports are real, I guess. And it's just scripted. It's scripted. Everything, look, it has become more scripted ever since sports gambling became a thing, right? Because everything is about money. The house never loses, and that's something you have to understand. If you say, like, for example, if they lose one time, right? Because they're not always going to win. This one thing of my partner, my partner, right? One of my coworkers taught me. If you lose one time, you will win 10 times the next time without the other person noticing, right? And that's the thing. There's going to be moments when the house is going to lose, and you're going to be like, you see, it's not scripted. Otherwise, if it was scripted, this wouldn't have happened. They're going to get you one way or another, right? And that's one thing that I want you guys to understand. Sports betting has ruined sports in general. The greed of people has ruined sports in general. This is scripted. This is scripted. This is scripted, right? And I want you guys to understand that. Stop watching sports. Stop betting. Just do your own thing, right? I'm telling you, if in high school it happens, in college it happens, it's fucking rigged, right? You see it if you know about sports, if you pay close attention, you will start realizing that money runs the world. And you might be saying like, oh, you're just an angry person, like you're just an old guy that wants to see the world burn, or I don't know what I'm saying, right? But it's just, I'm not saying you guys shouldn't be enjoying stuff, right? Everyone wants to be entertained. Everyone wants to do this and that. Just pay close attention to what's going on, and you will realize that everything is rigged. And once you realize everything is rigged, they will either get better at it to the point that you won't even notice it, or they'll stop doing it, right? And once they stop doing it, you can enjoy it, because everything is happening as it should, like legit. They're actually doing everything. You think Conor McGregor is gonna come back because he actually likes the sport and not because of money? Do you think Floyd Mayweather is gonna come back and fight Logan Paul because he cares about the integrity of the sport and not because of money? You're seeing a bunch of boxing players coming back. You think Cristiano Ronaldo's not gonna come back to potentially? Man, this is just frustrating, man. This is really frustrating. Sports are rigged. Sports are rigged. This one's rigged. I thought Argentina was gonna win. Yeah, I said it was rigged, and it was rigged. I was just wrong in terms of who was going to win, but it's still rigged. Anyways, that's pretty much it. All right, see ya.